Welcome back to CF Clips. I'm Brandon, and this is the Ruger LC 10mm carbine. Now, this one is a PCC, of course, that is chambered in 10mm, and it has some really cool quirks and features. So if you're in the market for a PCC or a bag gun, this may need to be at the top of your list, especially in a higher caliber. Let's discuss why and dive in, starting with the tip. Right up front, you can see that we do have a thread protector here, and you can only see it whenever I actually unthread it enough, so we're going to skip ahead to that. All right, and we're there. So you can put on a suppressor on here if you really wanted to. What's great about that, of course, being a pistol caliber carbine, is it does get a little bit quieter, because I don't know if you ever shot a 10 mil or not, it's pretty loud. So this will definitely help dampen some of that. 10mm, for those of you who may be unfamiliar, is known for being the bear killer, so to speak. It's just a bigger, more powerful than 9mm, so to speak, caliber. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move up top. So up top, they do give you these really nice flip-up sights. These come in the box and work as expected. They are spring-loaded, so of course you can just pop them up, which is a little more fun to do than I might admit. But that's accompanied with a full Picatinny rail up top. And below that, on the handguard portion, you are given more M-lock than you're going to know what to do with. And the best part about that, so you may not be able to see it through the camera, but the barrel here, let me actually point this right at the camera. There is no cameraman, it's just me. So I'm not pointing this at anybody in particular. You can see the barrel is a free float barrel inside there. What's great about that is the barrel is small and the handguard is large, and it gives you enough area to where you can use all of the M-lock spots. Now, on some guns, you can't use all of the M-lock slots because you can't fit the M-lock in, tighten it, and get it to work properly because there's too close to the barrel. So I do appreciate that on every single M-lock slot you see, you can use it. That's really nice. What's really nice here is you do get a very high-grade aluminum on that handguard as well, and the pick rail. So you get the handguard, the pick rail, and most of this gun here that you're seeing is some form of metal, with the exception of kind of this bottom Picatinny rail here, which we'll get to in just a second. Another notable feature is the handguard is screwed in 4 times. So you have one on either side, and then one on the bottom and one on the top. You get lots of good rigidity from that, so it feels very solid overall to hold in the hand and to shoot. It shoots very well. It does have a little bit of kick to it, but nowhere near as much as you would think. This thing is kind of heavy and mitigates a lot of that recoil. So it feels very good overall to use. And operationally, we have a little bit of a flared mag well. That came in super handy because we did a mag test, or a 2 rounds down range, swap mags, 2 more rounds down range. And I may not have hit all my targets, but the mag change was really easy and nice. Moving back into the gun itself. One thing we did find out in that video is that the bolt release is actually right here. So there's a button on your right side, right where your index finger is. And that's pretty nice. Now it does require a good amount of intentionality to force that bolt forward. That is a good thing in this scenario, but no matter what, it's also not hard to reach from the other side if you wanted to go. But one word of caution is that upon that bolt release, it does move forward. So depending on if you're using this hand to do it, just keep an eye out where your thumb is. All right, about there, because that's where I held it when I do it with my left hand. Probably why they put it on the right side, so you can't catch your hand on that bolt when it's going home. Another thing that's just a little bit different from a standard maybe AR style or pistol style, actually more similar to a pistol style, is the safety. So your safety is actually ambi. So you have both sides. It is a thumb safety. It is very easy to actuate with your thumb, or if you want to actuate it with you could do it either way, depending on what you want. Very nice, very well thought out, actually, because it does not get in the way. And upon farther inspection, you will also notice that you have a second bolt release that is also thumb actuated right here, and bang. So you actually have ambi bolt releases, ambi safety, very nice, very well thought out, and it's just a little bit different than you might be used to. However, very easy to actuate, especially if you're used to using a pistol with the safety on it. Now, even farther than that, we have the mag release and the trigger specifically. So let's go ahead over the trigger first. So I'll take the mag out. As you see in this video, it's clear, but just in case, we clear every gun before we ever film a video, with the exception of the times that we're gonna go shoot it. So, because they're cleared beforehand, we just, make sure that it is got bullets and magazines. But moving forward, The trigger is right here. Now you also have a trigger safety, little tiny one right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. So you pull that back, and then it is just a little bit of take up and a little bit more movement beyond that. And it breaks right at what would feel like 90 degrees, but in actuality, it actually touches the back of the trigger guard on the back side there, which is interesting. So let me just do that one more time for you so you can see it. It breaks like right up, there's a flat edge. It breaks like right there. So you get resistance, and then it breaks right into that wall, which is very interesting. The reset on it is gonna be a little bit of movement, just a little bit more, kind of getting springy, and resets right about there. And then you pull back through and bang. So the trigger does feel pretty good. Now the weight on that feels like about a 4 or 5 pound weight trigger. So it overall is good for what it is. It's a PCC. You don't want it to be super light. You also don't want it to be overly heavy. It hits that sweet spot right in the middle. Now, that mag release, since we're on that topic, is left side only. But it is right where your thumb naturally kind of sits when you start grabbing the gun, especially if you are used to a pistol grip, because that's exactly what this is. You right here, and then it actuates very easy. The magazine is large, so it does fall out as you would expect. All in all, that's a win for the actual magazine. Beyond that, you have the pick rail on the bottom. Now, this is going to be great, especially if you want to put a grip on here that maybe is closer to you. So if you don't have that super long arm span and you want something to hold quite like this, you're going to be really nice right here. You can also just have something up here or C-clamp it like a lot of people do. So you do have options there, which, again, options are always good. It gives every person, for no matter which case they're going to use it, they have options to configure it in any which way they want. The magazine, as you can see, it does give you a very nice magazine that is going to be a standard capacity for a rifle length gun, which is exactly what this is. 2 more features left that I really wanted to dive into. The grip. It's very aggressive. Now, that doesn't necessarily look super aggressive, but when you grab onto it, you are sure-handed on it. Now, there are smooth portions in between that aggressive texture. So if you have small hands, you may not make it all the way around to this grip texture over here. And you know what? That's okay. You can still grab onto it if you have smaller hands, even though a chunk of that will also be on the softer portion. When we were shooting this out at the range, I did not have a problem even after I got sweaty. So, very nice. Now, for the final and probably most important feature on this gun, the stock, because this is a rifle. It is foldable. As you see, you can fold it right on over, flip it out, and it is solid. It is sitting on a 1913 pick rail as well, so you can put anything that's compatible with 1913 on here. That's awesome. If you don't like what they give you out the box, guess what? You can swap it out, making this a very good modular platform as far as configurability, I should say. Maybe not modular, but configurability. You got full pick rail, lots of M-lock, extra pick rail on the bottom. You can change out the stock if that is what you want. The adjustability on the stock is also one reason why having a foldable stock is going to be nice, because you can have it to your desired length, throw it out, and it's already in place. There's no adjustment needed. Love that. Moving down just a little bit farther, you do get a nice rubber butt pad that does allow you to mitigate some of that 10 mil recoil. Again, it's 10 mil. It's not like it's going to be super recoiling. This gun's pretty heavy, so it feels really nice, but whatever recoil you do feel is going to be helped with mitigation on that rubber buttstock. There are also 2 QD sling mounts. You have one right here, just behind the receiver, so to speak, and then you also have one on the actual stock itself. In review, you have a rifle that is 7.4 pounds. You have a 16-inch barrel that is threaded. It does come with flip-up sights that do work very well, and a foldable stock. It comes with a standard rifle capacity magazine that are Glock mags, by the way. Don't know if I mentioned that in the video. These are Glock mags. You can use any 10 mil Glock mag that you wish. You have M-lock for days, Picatinny rail fully up top, and the twist rate is 1 in 16 on that barrel. Overall length is 30.6 inches long. That thread pattern is 578 by 28, in case you were wondering as well. Finally, you have Ambi bolt release, you have Ambi safety, you have 2 QD sling points. That really makes this come out to be one of the more interesting PCCs of this year. And not to mention, something that you may have to put on your buy list because, well, it's powerful, It works, it's a rifle, it's a backpack gun, it is what you need it to be, and you can customize it if you don't like what it is currently. Not to mention, it also comes in a couple of other calibers. You have 5.7, 45, and 10 mil. Awesome. With that being said, that's all I have for you today. God bless, stay safe. It is time to end. Now, I'm gonna take this to the range and go shoot it some more. Then we can beat Jason on the next challenge.